if all of gbogbo àwọn tó fẹ́ ṣe community tó yẹ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni solution wà tí ìran Yorùbá táfìrí ta fẹ́ ṣe tílẹ̀ Yorùbá wà fi bọ́ good ọwọ́ tàdé fẹ́ wà lórí ọwọ́ wa good ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bìlífù pé nígbà tẹ́ bá bọ́ sọ́tà sultan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ò fi dá tẹ́yìn náà bá rí ṣe good ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bìlífù pé tẹ́ bá lọ kó tẹ́ lọ hand over Èkó tẹ́ lọ hand over Ògùn hand over ilẹ̀ Yorùbá fún àwọn Ìgbò ní good but we know is that it is going to be a battle to finish for the soul of Yoruba land because we know what is at stake. Tí n tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin El-Rufai pẹ̀lú àwọn northern hegemony tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tí ò tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Sàbíọ́lá sí Tinubu ní tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Sàbíọ́lá tí ò bá kọ́ yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀ lè gbọ́n mọ̀. Many of them cannot even talk about the history of June 12. And then say politics. Àfi kàn mọ́ ṣe banter, kàn mọ́ troll. We understand that the birth of ideological politics in Yoruba land is a threat to the present political establishment. Many of them. Today, if anybody pass off me, need the ideology, need the intellectuals, kó bàtà yín kẹ́ sá lọ. Because when you have ideology, you have intellectuals, your mind is like an ammo tank. Nobody can conquer it. They will only try, they will fail. That was why Yoruba land was called Yoruba. Kò sí ideology mọ́ nsìn. Ọ̀dọ̀ imam àti pastor lẹ́lòmíì tí ń mẹ́ tí ó dìbò fún. We are in trouble. Our people, àwọn social media influencers, àwọn comedians, àwọn skit makers, àwọn ni wọ́n ń ṣe political mentorship fáwọn youth wá nsìn àti dáràn. Torí ẹ̀lẹ́ kò fi ké bí eku, ẹyẹ ò fi ké bí ẹyẹ. And many of our political leaders are technocrats. They are not intellectuals. And whatever they are intellectuals within the political class, they are always afraid. Toro máa ń pa wọ́n ni. I'm saying this publicly. There is a dearth of intellectuals within Yoruba land in our political landscape. But if you are ideologically savvy, you are targeted for destruction. So many of them try as much as possible to go under the radar. That's why some people believe that I'm going to destroy TYF and destroy Are, destroy Donka, destroy us, and even pay people money to take us down. Only God knows the thousands of people that were doing Yoruba Nation before that we converted to say, let us give Nigeria a chance. So between us, àtẹ̀yin Sharia agitators, ta ló wà mọ́, ta ni ó wà patriotic jù? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ dógun sílẹ̀. You want to bring theocracy into a democracy. You are going to have war. And the Nigeria you think you are going to have, you won't have it. You won't. Nigeria is not an Islamic state. If you plan it, you want to orchestrate it, you won't get it. You only have Sudan on your hands. And in Tomashe, Nigeria might do Sudan law. It's going to be a bloodbath. And the ethnic components that we match will be so radical. And hegemony tefe building here is going to consume all of you. That's why I'm saying, and you cannot argue with these guys. They are politicians. They cannot even take criticism. If you criticize them, they either block you or they will start feeling itchy. So it's so terrible. But I've like said, time is a healer, it's a prophet. Topic Ganga Tony. Donka, please, I will surely let you speak. But let me just quickly treat today's topic. Mo kí gbogbo wa lórúkọ Olódùmarè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o. I greet us all. I welcome you on behalf of Think Yoruba First organization. It's an organization that is propping up Yoruba Renaissance, Yorubanism, self-preservation, and Yoruba civilization all across the world. This is what this organization is. It's an institution. And every Saturday we come here with other comrades to speak about the state of affairs in Yoruba land and speak on the topic. The topic today is marriage, a tool of power, conquest, and empire building. I will mention two kingdoms in Africa tí wọ́n ti fi marriage tó ti fi take over. Ṣé rí marriage? Àwọn obìnrin ló understand the marriage jù. Ọkùnrin oftentimes do not understand the concept of marriage. Because women are deep thinkers compared to men when it comes to marriage. Marriage is the easiest way to jump from a lower class to the aristocrats in any society. Marriage is the easiest way for you to turn from being a pauper and become an oligarch within a few years. I will try as much as possible to explain several cultures and why they are extremely powerful compared to the rest of the world. Europe, Middle East, and Asia, they are the same continent. Europe is a geopolitical continent. It's not a continent in the real sense of it. Because Europe has a contiguous land border pẹ̀lú Middle East. Gbogbo Turkey yẹn dẹ̀ ní used to be European lands under the Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire. But there is something Europe has always wanted to control Eurasia.
I'm so sorry. Host, please check your connection so that we don't lose the space. Ṣé
connection ó sì orí ti ń dàrú ni?
Benny.
In fact, people are complaining that they're being removed from the room. So I think it's the host issue, it's the connection issue.
Oh. Okay, host.
Yeah, mo wà ń bí. Ó yẹ kó wà okay báyìí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ kó lọ o. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Okay.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Ṣé rí marriage is the most powerful tool láti di olówó àti alágbára láyé. Marriage is beyond. I went to the party. Tán ṣe máa ń show ẹ̀ lórí Hollywood movies yẹn àti Nollywood movies. I saw a girl on the street. Mo wá fẹ́. And all of a sudden, we produced 4 children and we became happily married after. Marriage is beyond that. Ṣé rí tẹ́ bá wo àwọn Asabawood movie yẹn from the east. Ibẹ̀ lẹ ti máa rí pé olówó kan from Lagos went to go and marry one obìnrin kan tó fìyà jẹ, girl kan tó fìyà jẹ. Ó wá fẹ́. Àwọn ìyá ẹ̀ ní pé kó má fẹ́. Ó ṣáà fẹ́ because love is real and they became happily after. Sharrington Spista is of me in social climbing. How people climb.
Oh, Shetibo Made in Manhattan, Jennifer Lopez.
Yes. Thank you, sir. That is how powerful marriage is. Mo sọ pé bí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn Middle East, why you can't conquer them? The same thing pẹ̀lú Fúlàní. Ṣé rí gbogbo ìjà tí El-Rufai àti Ribadu jà yẹn, ìwọ tó bá jẹ́ Yorùbá tó bá lọ tẹ́rí sí, wọ́n á forí ẹ̀ settle scores. If you go deep, you will find out that the sister of El-Rufai is married to the brother of Ribadu. Much example ní omi sọ pé true, because cousins, they marry within themselves. They call it endogamy. The same thing, that was why the Jews, close to 2,000 years in exile, they could still maintain their identity, their cohesiveness, even though they are outside their home base. Because they marry within themselves. Elowabatelstein, cousins, they marry within themselves. Their gene pool is within themselves. And they are intentional. Even if they marry outside, it is for a particular transactional agenda. If you look at Turkey, Turkish people will never allow you to confirm anyhow until maybe on rich level. They won't. Same thing with the Arabs. They marry within themselves. Same thing with the Pakistanis. Torí I need the Pakistanis, even though I'm sorry to say this, I want to dominate the Baba, want to dominate the low-skilled jobs. In the United Kingdom, they are very powerful politically because there is an endogamy. Torí ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá rí àwọn Tories tó fẹ́ ṣe ní England ni pé wọ́n fẹ́ make a law láti ban the marriage of cousins. Wọ́n lọ cite, they are citing because of genetic issues. It is more than that. It is because the wealth, the cohesion within the Pakistani community is because of that intermarriage amongst themselves. Ìwọ tó bá marry, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbé UK mọ̀ now. Tọ́mọ bá ti pé 15, 16, ẹni tó máa fẹ́ wọ́n ti mọ̀. So, the Pakistani tó wà ní Scotland, or tó wà ní Northern Ireland, àti Pakistani tó ń bẹ London, they are brothers and sisters. So they are one family. So apart of religion as a tool of social cohesion, marriage has been a powerful tool of social cohesion. So wealth is within amongst themselves. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà ní abroad tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà tó yẹ pé ìyàwó yín ọmọ Yorùbá ni lẹ wá mú láti Nàìjíríà lẹ mú lọ sí abroad. Tó bá pàrà àtàlẹ lọ mú, ṣé wealth yẹn ṣé mọyì àwọn ọmọ àbúrò yín, àwọn ọmọ ìyàwó àbúrò yín tẹ́ ti help? Ṣé wealth yẹn ò ti kúrò nínú family yín? Ṣé rí ìran tó bá wà very intentional about marriage, they are thinking futuristic. Ìran Yorùbá ìsìn, especially some of our youth and a particular block, tí mo bá sọ wọ́n ní mò ń bú Christianity, they are no longer thinking, torí àwọn ti brainwash wọn pé come and think of heaven, heaven, heaven. They are no longer thinking of art. Ìpè tẹ́ bá lọ, you cannot be a neurosurgeon, an MD. You've amassed billions of naira. You've amassed properties. You've become a billionaire. You now went to go and marry from another race. They took all your wealth and took it away. Let me tell you the reason why, Sherry, the black people in the Western world, as individuals, we are far richer and far powerful than many groups. And I'm going to tell you why. When it comes to sport, boxing, athletics, football, soccer, the black people dominate music, entertainment. We dominate it hands down. But let me tell you what happens. Ṣẹ́rí láti academy, ó ní àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ sọ ẹ̀ máa wà controversial. Ó ní àwọn ọmọ tó bá ní ṣẹ́rí the white people, Caucasians. Àwọn Igbo women too, they are very good with that. Let me give you an instance. Tẹ́ bá wà ní class, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ti study pẹ̀lú àwọn Igbos rí, tẹ́ bá wà ní class of Fulanis rí, tó yẹ pé you are brilliant, o máa ń gba 10/10, Igbo girls will like you. They will always, I'm telling you the truth o. Ṣé rí Yorùbá women láma ní kí èwo ló ṣì gan náà? Owó ni 10, ó gba 10. Kókó share dànù, ṣó nìkan lákó gba 10, rí ẹ̀ ló dàrú. Kókó, that's Yoruba women for you. It's normal because Yoruba women are naturally arrogant. And it's not arrogant per se, it's because of the complex tí Yoruba women ní, which is good. But a Igbo woman, a Igbo girl, tó bá ti ń bọ̀, á ti bá gbóúnjẹ dání, ẹ̀rẹ́ka ikọ̀, á ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní, come on, I need to do assignment. Ó ti rí, okay, ele má lè di professor lọ́la. This guy is brilliant. They think that way. That thinking is a thinking of people that want to survive. Stop. Sometimes we need to stop insulting people. They are marrying Yoruba men. They are intentional. They were intentional. They were intentional. They were intentional. I'm sorry to say this. Many brilliant people in your class, many brilliant people amongst your peers, everyone ṣakọtán ni. Ọlọ́run sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ nígbà tí Igbo ń ṣe dìde ní creation ìfẹ́ wọn. Because you don't know, so this guy is every time 99/100 mathematics, physics, chemistry, first class. Oh, mọ̀ pé gene pool ẹ̀ yàtọ̀. But the next thing, you must find a way to join. That's the way they think. Now, let's now come back to the Western world. Mention ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa wo bọ̀. Ẹ sọ black player mẹ́wàá tí ó ń ṣe of African descent o, mẹ́wàá tó fẹ́ black people, tó fẹ́ black women ní US, l'Amẹ́ríkà. Ẹ máa dárúkọ wọn. Rashford, ẹ lọ wo wọn Brazilian footballers yẹn. They all have white baby mamas. They all have it. You are earning £100,000 per week. Those are elites of the world, super billionaires. Who are their wives? White girls. Because they are intentional. Hello, what on fair? They organize themselves. They organize themselves. Tá a bá ṣe Yorùbá gathering ní Europe, ní UK, ní Germany, ní l'Amẹ́ríkà ni. Táwọn young, well-to-do Yorùbá men máa wá bẹ̀. Let me tell you the truth. There are many non-Yorubas women tó máa wá síbẹ̀ yẹn láti wá shop. Àwọn tó understand tí mò ń sọ ẹ̀, they know. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní audience wà lórí stage. They are going to meet the best of us there. Ẹ̀yin lẹ understand. Kẹ́ wà intentional with your own kind, how you this reality. Because marriage is the biggest wealth capture. From Sagina to Ebue, they say white girls will take their wealth away. Because they are smart. Somebody, an average white girl with a school cert or first degree with average tí ó pass GC gan marries a black boy that is in love, that earns close to $5 million or $10 million a year, after giving birth to 2, 3, 4 kids, and after 10 years of marriage, I divorce, I get half of the property that is worth almost $100 million, and I move on with 4 kids. And those 4 kids will marry white girls, and I will have white grandchildren. And my family, because those kids will be in the white community for life. That is why black people, every year, Larry, black people, new talent all across spheres of life, especially in the entertainment music sector. Look at Michael Jackson. All the 3 kids that are here apparent to his billions of dollars worth of fortune, they are mixed. They are mixed. Go and look at them.
Their children even deny their grandma.
They are mixed, yeah. Because that is the definition of empire. When we say empire, some people think Babylonian empire, control. No, you can have an economic and political empire too. So, the Igbo women have cracked that code. Fulani women have cracked that code. The Jewish women, the Caucasian women, white women, they've cracked that code. They are marrying a powerful, rich, stickingly rich black man. They are going to enjoy the sex and enjoy the money. And they'll be eternally rich for the rest of their lives. But you can't say that Kiri. After 60, 70, 80 years, everything you worked for destroyed in your lifetime. Because you don't understand the concept of marriage as a tool of climbing the social ladder. As a tool of climbing the social ladder. When Betty dated Akeredolu, Betty saw Akeredolu that this guy has potentials. Has potentials. And he played, it was a lottery, and he won. She won. She's still rich for the rest of her life. Insult her from now to tomorrow. Yoruba understand, and our fathers used to understand this reality. The Fulani people marry within themselves in Nigeria is the reason why they are still in control of the Hausa kingdom till today. It is the endogamy within that system. They created a system within the system. They say, we are Hausa Fulani are one, but go and look at the way they marry. If a Hausa man becomes extremely rich or brilliant, the next thing he start thinking is they'll give that person the Fulani girl to marry. In order to be able to also take that special genes. Human beings don't die. If you give birth, you don't die. Your gene is still in circulation. Go and look at Omofelansing. Kuti, there's an Igbo woman. Because they want to grab that gene. They're intentional. I'm sorry I'm saying some things in public. Go and look at the grandson of Muhammad Ali. The grandson of Muhammad Ali is white. Because despite Muhammad Ali claim I'm a black nationalist. Oh, Muhammad Ali still had a white wife. That still benefited in his wealth. in his estate and fortune. Sharing 90% of the wealth tí ọkùnrin bá ní láyé, obìnrin ló enjoy ẹ̀. Àtàwọn ọmọ. They will not tell you, gbogbo wàhálà tí ọkùnrin bá ṣe ní ayé, then sáré kiri, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 7 to 5, it is the women that are enjoying this wealth. They enjoy it. They take care of, they enjoy the kids. That is why we need to be intentional about marriage. And let's now talk about, I will now talk about two empires. Some people don't want to say, okay, one empire, one kingdom that was created by Oromiyan. That's why I said, our fathers were empire builders. So there is nothing that we are discussing that they didn't know. It is because of religion and the dumbing down of the Yoruba people that has created this mess many of us find ourselves in. Now, Oromiyan did not conquer Igodomigodo through outright warfare. He could not conquer them. He could not totally destroy them and subjugate the aborigines. He had to marry an indigenous woman to produce a weka. That indigenous woman, òun ló fi jẹ ọba, òun ló jẹ ọmọ ọba. Tí ọlọ́pàá gbé ní ọmọ ọba, ọmọ ọba, tó wà nínú Benin dynasty yẹn. So Oromiyan, one of the great ancestors of our race as Yoruba people, used intermarriage to dominate and conquer and create the Oduduwa dynasty in that area of Edo and Delta. Oyo, for Oyo to survive amongst those warlike neighbors, Nupe and Barivas, Oromiyan intermarried with another Nupe princess. Ló fi bí Ṣàngó àti Àjàká. Àwọn ni wọ́n lò láti create dynasty yẹn. Because he was one of them, they could not kill such person. The same thing yàtọ̀ sí táwọn Igbo sì ṣe pẹ̀lú Chinedu. Is he not half Igbo? Is he not part? Is he not Yoruba like you? In order to be able to grab our most prized assets, which is Lagos State. Nothing is new under the sun. The world has not changed. The world has not moved a bit. The world is still the same. It's the way it is. There's conquest, there's land grab, there's decimation, there's annihilation, there's destruction. Nothing has changed in the world. So if we need to, and I won't go deeper than that, for our own security's sake. Intermarriage, you have to create your empire. You have to conquer your empire. Intermarriage, you have to conquer Benin. Let's now talk about the kingdom of Egypt. Egypt used to be ruled by black kings, pharaohs. The question you should ask yourself, Sherry, Egypt, Sudan, used to be that Nile, because the Egyptian civilization is a River Nile civilization. It was a civilization built along the River Nile. Now, if you watch from Egypt, down along the Nile, white, brown, and black. If you watch along the color tonation of the people there, because the kingdoms along those places, 3,000, 4,000 years ago were black people. So the incursion of the Caucasians from the Middle East from Europe, Greek, the Phoenicians changed the color tone, and gradually they became white. But if you go to Sudan, you are going to see people that are black as charcoal claiming to be Arabs. And people start wondering, Museveni, president of Uganda, was making jest of them. You are going to see somebody as black as charcoal calling himself Arab. I saw that in Sudan. He was making fun. But it's the reality that we have in Sudan. That's the reality we have in Sudan. Because during the battle from the 7th century AD, when the Arabs were coming in from the Middle East, from Yemen, from the Arabian Peninsula, to annex and conquer their axis, they could not conquer the Kushite kingdom for 700 years. Some want to conquer Egypt. But that Kushite kingdom in the current day Sudan could not be conquered. If people don't know, there are more pyramids in Sudan than the pyramids in Egypt. So, between the 7th century to the 12th century, there was a constant war between the Kushite kingdom, good archers, warriors, against the Arabs. But the Arabs could not conquer them. They couldn't. What finally happened was the Arabs started giving out their daughters to the men of Kush. And what they could not achieve for 500 years of war, they achieved it within 100 years plus. That was why they were able to subjugate and suppress and destroy and annihilated the Kushite kingdom and took it over. So and many of them that fled, and that was the end of the Kushite civilization. If we talk about the Kushite civilization, I'm talking about a civilization that is more than 3,000 to 4,000 years. It was intermarriage that they used to conquer it and annex it. It was intermarriage. So, at this junction, I'm going to stop here and allow other speakers to speak. Because this issue of marriage as a tool of empire building does not just exist in Africa, it exists all across the world. And which is why we need to start having a conversation. Do we want to be as powerful like the Jews? We want to be as powerful as the Fulanis. We need to actually take care of our marriage. Who are our men marrying? Our elites, who are they marrying? If not, our extinction might be knocking on the door. Because without protecting the marriage institution, no civilization is guaranteed of its survival. Marriage is not just marriage. That's why you see there is an intentional trying to overblow the issue of Yoruba-Igbo marriage by people who preach Yoruba hate every day. It is not fun. It is not cruise. Anybody can marry. You can't stop intermarriage. Marry anybody you like. But for the Yoruba race to exist and survive, we must have 90% Yoruba marriage. It's the truth. Those of you that have married outside, that you've married somebody else, ensure your children have Yoruba consciousness, so that those children will not be weaponized against us, like the children of Cush, which was used for the conquest of the Kushite kingdom by the Arabs. I'm going to stop here. It's been, I was spoken for close to 2 hours, 30 minutes. Or let me say 2 hours. Thank you, everybody. May Olodumare continue to be with us and bless us.